This video is for the mothers out there who are trying to manifest the life of their dreams, but they have children. Because I love to watch videos. I love personal development. I love consciousness development and expansion. I love things like all things transformation is just what I spend my time learning about, mostly because I want to be happy, and I've spent a lot of my life feeling incredibly anxious, mildly or severely depressed, and just chronically stressed, as well as like having my own history of trauma that I've been needing to heal. So, and then I also became a mother, so these things became a lot more relevant and necessary. And my children are a great inspiration. But when I look at these videos, what I see are people who clearly don't have children. So they have a lot of time, they have a lot more time and energy and resources than I do to focus on changing their lives, right? With children, trying to manifest is extra hard. If it feels like manifesting is hard for you and you're a mother, that's not just because like there's something wrong with you or because you're doing it wrong. It is likely because you have children and you're a mother. The reason for this is because manifestation is not magic. It happens through our body. Manifestation is something that, because our reality is what is like the reflection of our internal world, whether that be like our body and our nervous system, or our thoughts and beliefs, our history, the patterns that we've adopted throughout life, our childhood experiences and traumas, which contribute to those patterns. All of that stuff, as it interacts with the world around us, like it's just a reflection. So, and so with manifesting, what's happening is that the internal world is changing through things like affirmations, visualizations, emotional regulation, and whatever, all the different tips and tricks for manifesting, which if you're watching this video, you're probably familiar with. And so the reason that it is harder having children and being a mother is because there's more stress in our lives. There's more responsibility. There's often less resources, less time, less energy. Maybe you have young children and like you're just trying to survive because you're chronically sleep deprived. You're trying to figure out how to do life while also like convincing these little people to get on board and, you know, get with the program. And while also giving them so much love and helping them grow and learn and feel welcomed and wanted and not squash their light, right? So what really, like, it's not that the key for us to be successful with manifestation is to, like, we have to do things differently. It's just that we have to do, we have to really, it's in the emotional regulation. It's just more, right? Like, there's more stress. That means that we have more that we need to tend to in ourselves. So for me, what I do is I focus on helping my nervous system. And the thing with emotional regulation, right, is like the hacks will not work. The nervous system hacks will not work. In deep breathing, if things are really stressful in your home, like meditation can be really hard. I mean, a lot of the things that help to regulate a nervous system, especially if you're coming in to it with a nervous system that was already really anxious and calibrated for stress and unhappiness and anxiety and depression. There's like a low capacity for like the good and the positive feelings, a sense of calm, a sense of ease, a sense of everything's going to be all right, a sense of safety. Those things are, if they're really foreign to your nervous system and your experience, they are going, like, everything is going to resist it in your body because it's foreign. And so it takes time and it takes titration. But there are lots of ways to do that and to do it more quickly, because nervous system healing can take a really long time. Because odds are, like, it's taken a lifetime to get to that place, right? Like, maybe you've been spending the last like 2 years consciously like on your healing journey, or maybe you've been on your healing journey for like the last 10 years, but you're still on your healing journey because your healing journey has become something that just enables the stress cycle that your body is familiar with and prefers. Or like, yeah, we have kids and there's just so much more to manage and navigate. So with that, if you are coming into this with a nervous system that is like, you're dealing with a lot of anxiety, you're dealing with a lot of like low energy, feeling burnt out, and that wasn't something that just started when you had kids, but has gotten significantly worse with children. What has really made a difference for me is, before I try to even get to like the calm and the relaxed places to emotionally regulate, I focus on excitement, because excitement is very similar to stress in our body. It may be the same thing, but there's similar chemicals going on. And so turning anything into like excitement is helpful. And also like that, like, rest is really important. There's no getting around, like, sleep needs to be prioritized. And I know that like you probably don't want to hear that, because if you have children who are having trouble with sleeping, like, it's really hard to, like, you can't just, what do you do, right? But I'll probably make another video about what to do about that. But like, it means, you know, going to bed when you can and things like that. But I'm not going to get into that in this video. I just want to focus on this one tip that you can start. So when well, first, any moment that you get by yourself where you can just let go, and you're not being bombarded with things that you need to do in the moment, like, you can spend that time, either, if you're able to get into your body, come into your body. Heart coherence breathing is really, really great, and you can find all kinds of videos on YouTube to show you how to do that. It's just breathing in for a count of 5 and breathing out for a count of 5. And I like that one because it's not deep breathing and it involves counting, so it occupies the mind. And that really is very helpful in recalibrating the body and the nervous system. But also like visualizing things that feel good. So creating like a happy space in your mind, a visual space that is like your happy place. And for me, it was like this beautiful tropical like waterscape thing, and sand, and just it, like talking about it right now just automatically just brings me a sense of like, oh, it feels so good. So creating that, trying to keep it the same, also trying to let your unconscious mind show you what it wants rather than trying to craft the perfect like happy place. Just see what comes to you initially and go with that, and try to come back to it again and again and again, because every time you repeat it and every time you come back to it, it's going to build on that like a muscle. And then also reflecting on things that happened during the day that you're like, oh, I really like that. That was really nice. Try to sit with it for 20 seconds. Just 20 seconds. Be with, oh, wow, I really like this thing. This feels really good. My kids put on their shoes and I only had to ask them 2 times and they just did it. Wow, that is amazing. And just for 20 seconds, like, don't sit and count because that'll ruin it, right? But like, that's all it takes for things to start to rewire in your brain. And if you do that throughout the day, which that's what we usually need as mothers, especially if like you homeschool or you unschool, or you have young children that you're just home with all the time right now, having those little things that you can do throughout the day without having to really stop anything is really helpful. So there's that. And then one of the other things that I used to do when I would start to feel stressed with my kids. Okay, so I have to wrap this video up in 2 minutes because my daughter is done waiting for me. So with like things like transitions that are really stressful, like getting out the door and getting to wherever you need to be, I used to, and I have ADHD, so like I would use adrenaline and stress to like help me get things that were boring and